SportsNOLA.com at historic Kirsch-Rooney Stadium, Reg Sherman Field, where it is once again time for baseball. Mardi Gras is over. Delgado coach Joe Scheuermann joining me. And Joe, it's here. Mardi Gras is over. You got Mardi Gras out of the way instead of interrupting the start of your season this year. But your team is once again in the top 10 after back-to-back trips to the Junior College World Series. You've raised the bar pretty high now to where the expectations are big going into just about every year, it seems like.
Well, it's exciting that people around the country recognize our program, and being number 9 is quite lofty goal, to be quite honest with you. Lenny, I'm not really sure we're deserving of that this point of the year, but hopefully by the end of the year we will be. We're going to start probably 7 freshmen or 7 first-year players. So 7 first-year players and a non-ranked team, that's kind of questionable.
Well, again, the beauty of junior college baseball is you do have a lot of turnover in your roster. It's only a 2-year situation, 3 if you happen to redshirt somebody. So you are going to see that once in a while. But you do have some returnees at some key spots who have seen the best there is to offer in junior college baseball in Grand Junction with your team a year ago. Talk about some of those returnees.
No doubt. Owen McGee is probably catalyst of our offense. He batted mostly in our 3 and 4 hole last year for us, and returns will start at third base this year. We got Dylan Weston back off of the hamate bone surgery last year. He was a medical redshirt last year. He played on the World Series team the year before. And then, we got Spencer Miller back, who was a DH late in the year for us last year when Tyler St. Philip went down, who was also returning. But so we have, 4 pretty good experienced position players and what I call hitters, and that should help us a little bit. Our big question mark's going to be on the bump. How we can compete on the mound is going to be the key to our season.
I know you said you were pleased with maybe what you had on the offensive side and even defensively, but how will you start things pitching-wise? I know you go into your regular season opener every year, the Reg Sherman Memorial Tournament, 6 games in 4 days. You're going to find out very quickly about some of that pitching depth, being that you got to run 6 guys out there at minimum over the course of the next 4 days.
No doubt. On top of that, we got a couple guys that are still kind of tweaking a little injury arm-wise, so we're going to sit out probably our number 1 starter. Probably won't even compete for us this weekend. So rather be safe than sorry, and the future's ahead of us there. So, but we're taking our closer in Fontenot and making him a starter. We're taking some freshmen that have towed the rubber other than in the fall for us in junior college baseball, and making one of our key guys is Jace Neeney. He's going to have to weather the storm for us here early in the year on the mound. He's going to be our number 1, number 2 all year long, but definitely our number 1 this weekend. So we're looking for some big things out of those 2 young men. And then we got some freshmen and transfers. A guy, Connor Whalen, is a transfer from Nickel State, who we're going to make a closer, and hopefully he'll step up and accept that role.
Traditionally, your roster has been build a wall around Southeast Louisiana, keep those guys here, maybe 1 or 2 guys outside of Southeast Louisiana have managed to trickle onto your roster. Same kind of makeup again this year? Yeah,
I mean, we're 99% greater New Orleans area guys. Connor Whalen's from Baton Rouge. I consider that a South Louisiana guy. You look around our infield, we got Jesuit at first. We got a young man from University High at second base, a couple New Orleans guys at shortstop and third base, and then outfield we have a young man that transferred in from Northeast Monroe. I think that's what's it called?
ULM.
ULM. I'm a little lost when it comes to those directional schools. They change their names so often. But he's really Robert Podolsky. He's a guy that's gonna be our leadoff hitter and one of our catalysts in the outfield.
6 games, 4 days, as I mentioned, this weekend to get the season started. Scouting report on the competition as much as you know about him, not just this weekend, but really the whole year.
Well, Coach Sherman, he's ugly, but he's not really a dummy. We're bringing in a team from Vermont, and so they're fresh out about 14, 16 inches of snow, so that'll help us a little bit, I'm sure. But, Pensacola's always been a powerhouse in the Florida Panhandle and always a very, very competitive team. They'll be a pretty seasoned club. They started a bunch of freshmen last year. They're coming in with a sophomore laden team, and we expect them to really give us a hard time. But we're trying to get rolling ourselves. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Delgado opens its season Thursday night at 6 o'clock, the opening game of the Scheuermann Memorial Tournament right here at Kirsch-Rooney Stadium. Don't have to wait for Division I baseball to get started next week. You've got baseball starting this week.